We are here at Xerocon 2019, where we have had a packed morning of product announcements, and I'm delighted to be joined by two of Xero's top brass to talk us through them. First of all, fresh from her successful keynote on stage is Anna Curzon, the Chief Product Officer. Hi, Anna.
Hey, thank you for having me. Hi.
It's a pleasure. And AccountingWEB regulars will be familiar with the face to her left. There's the Director of Operations, Damon Anderson. Hi, Damon.
Hey, Tom. How are you?
I'm very well indeed. So let's get cracking. The obvious place to start is with Xero Tax, the big announcement that got the floor buzzing, as it were. Anna, can you talk us through that?
Sure thing. Well, Xero Tax is something that we've been on a journey with for some time. We talked about the purchase of InstaFile this time last year, and we've been really working closely with the team ever since that point, and talking to a lot of UK partners to really understand, not just delivering a solution, but really delivering something quite special and beautiful that will reinvent, if you like, compliance in the UK. And so not only will it deliver you the tools that you need, but it'll also do it in a way where it's seamless and effortless. So there's no more having to go to lots of different places to get things done. And Damon and Keith and I were talking the other day just about the myriad of places at the moment that accountants have to go to. And if you make one mistake somewhere, you have to literally go back and fix it. And I was like, oh, this is just a nightmare. So super delighted to be able to announce today that we'll be releasing our first tranche in March, but that you can join the beta for micro entities and small business right now.
Fantastic. And what does that entail in terms of the taxes that it will include?
Right. So
yeah, no problem. So that's really corporation tax. So we've got corporation tax live and running. We're fully released on FRS 105, so the micro entity filings, and FRS 102.1A, which, as everyone knows, is the small business filings. So the last one's in beta, and we've kind of gone fully live with 105. But we're just, as Anna said, just so excited because up until now, it's been about having to manage multiple systems and take information out of one and put it into another, and having all of that in one place means one single source of truth.
Indeed, I think, as Anna mentioned on stage, end-to-end compliance. So,
I know, it's a beautiful thing, isn't it? And our UK partners really do deserve that. It is, I guess, the last mile for us in terms of connecting in with Companies House and HMRC. And thank you, Damon, for reeling off those numbers so well. I knew I wouldn't be able to remember them, so thank you.
Any thoughts about personal tax a little bit further down the line?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's something that we're exploring, and it's one of those watch this space
Totally.
things.
I mean, I think, obviously with making tax digital on the horizon, we've seen the first tranche with VAT. That's only going to become like an even more important feature. It's been a really successful process from HMRC's perspective. So having that on the line, we think it makes sense to sort of future-proof our platform for accountants and bookkeepers so that they can benefit from, personal tax and trusts and estates and partnerships and everything else that comes with that.
Fantastic. One thing that I think both Steve Amos and Gary Turner and yourself mentioned on stage this morning was around the issues that small businesses have with Cashflow. And
Yes.
there was a whole tranche of product announcements aimed at helping small businesses with that. Are you able to run us through a few of those, Anna?
Well, as everyone watching will be aware, Cashflow is the number one reason globally why small businesses fail. And we couldn't sit here in good conscience and not solve that problem for small businesses. When you've got a purpose which is all about making the lives better of small businesses and their communities and their advisors, that is the thing that we all need to lean in and tackle. So a while ago, we really did a lot of research around this and decided that we would be all in at solving Cashflow. And so we're delighted to announce two things, well, really three things actually today in our journey to solve Cashflow. One is our short-term cashflow tool, which we had talked about previously at Xerocon Brisbane. And again, the pilot was oversubscribed. It allows you to look a month out, and it allows you to look at the peaks and flows at this stage through invoices and bills, but we're about to add things like, cash transactions that are predictable and some of the ones that aren't so predictable, and using machine learning to really start to understand, those questions of, am I going to make payroll this month? So that's super exciting, and of course we also announced the debut this morning of our business snapshot, which again, it's so obvious in hindsight. That's a great thing about awesome design and working with our partners, but having a place where you can go to get all those key performance metrics and ultimately being able to customize them so you can sit down with your client and have a discussion about how is your business doing really. And then I think the third thing is what Craig talked about, and we do highlight it both with our Cashflow tool and with the business snapshot. How long is it taking you to be paid, and how long is it taking for you to pay others? And we know that impacts Cashflow significantly. So one of the things that we're encouraging our partners to talk to their clients about is making sure that they integrate our payment services into their invoicing workflows, because we know that those clients who do are getting paid 15 days faster than those that don't. So that's just a lay down as a gimme of what you could do to immediately help your clients and make sure they've got online payments integrated into their invoice workflows.
Fantastic. Damon, what problems do you see sort of solving for accountants and their clients with these tools?
Yeah, well, I mean, one of the biggest challenges we've got in the UK is the productivity puzzle. Mm-hmm. So, we have seen the output per employee per hour just trail off since the financial crisis. And small business makes up like 60% of all employment in the UK and 50% of GDP. So actually we have an opportunity to materially impact productivity across the UK through, as Anna said, getting those payments down by 15 days. You start to add that up across our over 500,000 subscribers in the UK, and you can start to see like really meaningful impact. So I think it's really aligned to that greater purpose, which is like obviously helping our businesses, helping their advisors, but helping the UK economy, which I feel pretty excited about.
Fantastic. And the third pillar, as it were, in this sort of tranche of releases was around data or data, as our Kiwi friends
we were just debating that earlier, weren't we?
like to say. But both the sort of capture of this data and the processing of it and what it could do to potentially transform the lives of accountants and their small business clients. Can you just talk us through a bit about that?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's one area that we can add immediate value to our bookkeepers and clients and to their daily lives. And so our research that we've undertaken, that we see through industry research, shows us that accountants and bookkeepers are spending like a third of their time on manual data processing, and there's time better spent on other more important jobs. And so we really need to tackle that issue head on. And we had a great story that Steve shared of one of our accounting partners this morning saying, gosh, it used to take us a day a week to do all that manual processing, to scan the receipts from your customers and get them in, and now it takes 10 minutes.
All sounds very familiar, yeah.
What a gift if we can do that. So working with HubDoc, and we announced that acquisition about a year ago as well, I'm so proud of them. I went up and saw the team in Toronto, it was only about a month ago, and the machine learning and AI work that they're doing is really world class, and so they are speeding up the time it takes to extract data. They're speeding up the accuracy and the amount of documents that they can recognise as well. And so that's really important, because we understand that the more accurate and high integrity data that we get into the Xero platform means it saves you time, but also too, we can do really magical things once we've got that data into the platform. We can skinny up workflows for you, and we can start to look at different insights because we've got a really fantastic data set across our platform. So it really does feed so many more of our other strategies, if you like.
Yeah, and so I mean, actually, if you think about that, that kind of taking that high integrity data and doing your tax returns, like having accurate data to do your tax returns, or taking that high integrity data and looking at like your future cash flow predictions, you can't do that without quality data. So these things all work harmoniously together all the way through the workflow to create a better outcome.
And I suppose as well, if we look slightly further into the future, we machine learning and AI were the sort of obligatory name check at
Yes.
most conferences. But it's quite interesting that some real use cases are starting to emerge with that.
Absolutely, and it's a really practical application, I think, as well. And so, you know, we don't want to innovate for innovation's sake at Xero. We need these tools to work really hard for our accountants and our bookkeepers and our clients. And so we're focusing on using them in the best possible way. And again, it's saving time, getting better insights.
Fantastic. Mentioning time, I'm afraid we're out of it, but it was an absolute pleasure. Thank you very much to
Thank
Anna
you.
and to Damon for all your coverage of Xerocon. We're AccountingWEB.co.uk, and if social media is your thing, then I think the hashtag is Xerocon. So thank you very much for watching, and see you next time.